This video is brought to you by OneXBet. OneXBet allows you to bet on all sporting events around the world. Register with OneXBet for free and win up to $130 in bonuses on your first cash deposit. Use my promo code as podcast to register and win extra bonuses up to $130. Yes, it is that simple. Join OneXBet so that you do not regret. Click the link in the comment section to sign up now. Bet responsibly. Gambling not allowed to persons under the age of 18. Enjoy the video. Rather than lads, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in all parts of the world. Transfers are back, and it's going to be lots of content here on Cossy's Arsenal podcast. Transfers are back, and we've been linked with millions of players. I've not really done any videos about transfers and who is coming to where and all things like that. But make sure you do check out my channels, 99 Sport and Cossy's Arsenal podcast, because I'm going to be covering all your transfers right from this month to, I think, to August. Then we go into the World Cup. It's gonna be very, very busy schedule for me. I'm gonna grow thinner. But we're gonna be talking about a player called Cody Gakpo. Links between Arsenal and Cody Gakpo. Honestly, I've just seen them, but lots of interest in there. It is being reported that Arsenal will actually amazingly sign Gakpo, and advanced talks have been held between PSV and Arsenal. We're going to be uncovering and we're going to be lifting all the stories. We're going to be lifting all the covers on these stories. We'll try to find out what exactly is happening and where are these stories coming from. But what you need to know is Gakpo is another forward that has scored 20 goals in 21 appearances for PSV. Again, it just highlights that, that need for us not to get in a striker. It highlights that ability, another special ability, by another player to play on that forward line. So we want two strikers, according to Chris Whitley. We are trying to sign two strikers, and those two at the moment, one of them could be Cody Gakpo. So what are the reports and where exactly are they coming from? Smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. Let's get the party started. Right, to start the party today in the morning, news came in from Netherlands, and they said, according to an authoritative source, that is Rick Elfrink, Arsenal is concretely interested in contracting with Cody Gakpo or Gakpo. Arsenal have had advanced talks in the past few weeks and informed PSV that they will offer a large sum to close the deal. The player wants to move to Arsenal, but so far nothing has been closed yet. Work is underway between all the parties, and this is what is more interesting here, lads, because this is a kind of a follow-up tweet that says, by the way, the news from Netherlands regarding Arsenal's advanced interest in PSV winger Cody Gakpo came from journalists very close to the club and very, very reliable. Now, in the past days, we've been linked with a couple of players, around the club. I think Gakpo is one of those, recently coming in, but we've had Paulo Dybala linked with Arsenal. We've had Lautaro Martinez linked with Arsenal. We've had Joao Felix as well linked with Arsenal, and a couple of others. But Gakpo is a new interesting one. Now, according to the transfer market website, he could cost Arsenal around 33 million euros, which is less than 30 million pounds. It could be around 25 to 26 million pounds. That is if I'm going to estimate. So I think what is interesting in here, one, just to acknowledge the fact that, look, we will go and get in a striker. That is one. But two, the fact that we want to bring in a forward, not exactly a center forward, because he predominantly plays on the wings. Either he can play as an inverted winger on the left hand side of the pitch, or he can play as a traditional winger on the right. But his speciality is more of goals. Now, I try to explain how we play in my recent match reaction when we beat Aston Villa, and I said the strength of Mikel Arteta's side is more like Xavi's, it's more like Liverpool and City. What they do is you have two wingers that can stretch play and can make the pitch as wide as possible, but those wingers do have the ability always to drift inside, either take on a player one-on-one and beat them, or they can drift inside and become goal scorers. We've seen it with Mane and Salah at Liverpool. We've seen it with the likes of Bernardo when he was playing out wide for City, and the likes of Phil Foden when they play out wide. At times that at times Pep deploys them as false nines, but then at times he just deploys them on the wings. We've seen it with Xavi predominantly now. You've seen Dembele and Ferran Torres playing out wide. I think what would be very interesting here is we have a Gabriel Martinelli and we have a Bukayo Saka. I don't think Saka is going to be sold, because look, his contract has a couple of things to deal with, but I don't think it's anywhere a sign that he won't sign. I think he will sign a new contract, and we'll talk about Saka in subsequent videos. A big update from Fabrizio Romano. And as well, Gabriel Martinelli, yes, the goals are not yet coming in as I want him to score them, but he's one of the leading top scorers, at Arsenal. I think 5 this season in the Premier League. It just shows you that, he's just developing and he's becoming better and better. So the only position to fight for at Arsenal is the striker and being the backup striker. So the question there is, can Mikel Arteta turn Cody Gakpo into that centre forward? Because if you look at how he plays now, look, these are clips from YouTube, so probably they might not actually bring out what I want to say. But if you look at how he plays, it doesn't really play like what you would want, Alexander Lacazette to give you, that kind of hold-up play, that kind of ability to hold the ball and just wait for others. He doesn't have that. What he does actually as a player is he's good on running and then taking on players 1v1. That is his speciality. Unless we were going to see a very, very different style from Arsenal probably next season when we get the midfield resources and minerals. Because if you look at how Xavi employs his team, and it's very, very similar to what we want to do or what we're trying to do, or what Mikel Arteta has done at Arsenal. If you look at what Xavi does, he cooks, backup cook everything from the midfield, and then Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang literally doesn't need to get involved in the build-up play. And now, if you look at the strikers they are linked with, again they're linked with Robert Lewandowski. Lewandowski is not one player that really gets involved in the build-up play. What he literally does is receive that ball in goal-scoring areas, and then he takes the goal-scoring opportunities. That is the kind of striker he is. So Cody Gakpo could be that, because he has a very, very, very has high success rate. In converting, his conversion rate is very, very beautiful. So my question is, does he then come in as a backup striker that we go for a Maki signing? Because if you look at the two strikers that we've been linked with lately very strongly, that is Cody Gakpo, winger, stroke striker. I think it's the numbers that are interesting, right? Look, Pepe could leave in the summer, so I do not have any problems with Cody Gakpo coming in and filling in that space. I do not have. My only question is, if he comes in, is he replacing Pepe, or is he coming in as a centre forward? Huge question. And then the other one is the Uruguayan international from Benfica, Nunes. Nunes is a striker. Nunes is a centre forward. Actually, you think when we did that story of Arsenal's next striker, when we tried to predict, we did Nunes and we did Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and I said Nunes is a good striker. I'll take Dominic Calvert-Lewin before. And you remember me sitting on the wall and saying I was not taking DCL. But the reason as to why I went with DCL, I feel like he's got that kind of hold-up play that Arsenal need and desperately get from Alexander Lacazette. In my opinion, what we need in a striker, we just need someone to add to what Lacazette is giving us. He's giving us that kind of very, very good holder play. He's giving us those assists because this season, 8 assists this season from Alexander Lacazette. Remarkable. Yes, only three goals, missing penalties, and I think he scored 2 penalties and 1 goal from one play, or probably 2. If I could go, one against Crystal Palace, 1 against Wolves, which I think he also scored a penalty. Was it against Newcastle or Leeds? I think it was, because I remember. Is it Newcastle or Leeds? That game that Emil Smith Rowe came in and then we made a very, very big impact. I think it was Leeds. 3 goals this season. From a centre forward who is surrounded by players on fire. Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli. You think he should be doing better in terms of crossing, in terms of making the ball cross the line. And personally, I feel like he should be doing better. So we need someone who makes the numbers count, brings in the numbers, but also doesn't take away what Lacazette is giving us. And in my opinion, it's not Cody Gakpo. He's not there, but he's a very, very exciting young talent. I'll take him. Eyes closed, eyes open. I'll definitely take him at Arsenal. So let me know, lads, what do you think about Cody Gakpo? Go on YouTube, try to read about him. I'm going to do a Let's Talk, video series, I think right from the 1st of April, where we'll be talking about players that are linked with Arsenal and players that I think should be joining Arsenal. Cody Gakpo is one of them. He's interesting, really interesting. Paulo Dybala is another, but look, I will handle these players each one separately per video. I'm going to handle rumors each separately in a separate video. I have a reason to do that. Smash a like on the video, subscribe. Let me know what you think about that. Don't forget to sign up with OneXpert. Link in the comment section, and I'll speak to you right in the next one. This video is brought to you by OneXpert. OneXpert allows you to bet on all sporting events around the world. Register with OneXpert for free and win up to $130 in bonuses on your first cash deposit. Use my promo code as podcast to register and win extra bonuses up to $130. Yes, it is that simple. Join OneXpert so that you do not regret. Click the link in the comment section to sign up now. Bet responsibly. Gambling not allowed to persons under the age of 18. Enjoy the video.